What's up, everybody? Today, I'm super excited to announce my guest. He's a CUSA champion, a former UAB linebacker, and a current NFL prospect, Fitz Mofor. What's up, my guy?
How you doing, man?
I'm just chilling. Happy to have you on the show today. But first and foremost, why don't you tell us a little bit about your hometown of Brookville, Maryland, and what makes it so special?
Hometown Brookville. Brookville's like a small town. In the suburbs. I wouldn't say there's that many people in there. It's right off Georgia Avenue, probably about 45 minutes away from DC. Small town, like I said earlier. It's probably right next to Olney, Maryland, which is probably another town people should be more familiar with, and Silver Spring too as well.
So you're a big Redskins fan then?
Yeah, definitely right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So take us back to like your high school days. What was your recruiting process like, and then why'd you ultimately end up choosing to walk on at UAB?
Unfortunately, high school wasn't really highly touted, highly recruited. Kind of left originally signing to Division two school, but didn't like it all that much. And actually, before I ended up going down to school, I kind of got my release from my, because you have to sign your letter of intent, of course. So I signed there, got my release, ended up going to prep school. I was at the prep school for a semester. It didn't necessarily go as well as I thought it would, which was on my behalf. So I had to come home for a little bit and ended up going to FAMU, and then that just didn't work out as well. And then I ended up going to another Division two school called Glenville State College in West Virginia, really small school. Worked out for me pretty well. I had to redshirt my freshman year because of a medical injury, and then ended up winning freshman of the year in our conference. And after winning that goal and getting that, it kind of helped me get in contact with the UAB coaches, where I ultimately walked on over there.
Nice. So what's it? I mean, actually, yeah. What's it kind of like to just play in like two bowl games? You played in two of them while you were at UAB. You went to two conference title games. Can you explain like kind of what that experience is like playing in like high profile games, and then kind of just like your personal experiences on like what you did to get ready for those games, your mindset in those games, stuff like that.
Um, well, for me, it's really great because I get an opportunity to get my family to go to places they usually like have never been to before, like the Bahamas, Boca Raton, or the Mercedes-Benz Bowl we went to this past year. So I know my family members and all my other close friends are really excited to come down and watch the game. And as for me preparing, I remember our first year in 2017, we went to the Bahamas Bowl. And unfortunately, we kind of had, we were just happy to be there because we just brought the program back.
Yeah.
It was the first time going to a bowl game in maybe about 10 to 15 years, whatever the case may be. And, we just
Yeah, it was
got
like 2001, I think.
yeah, we just got too caught up in the moment, and it just didn't go as well. And the next year we rallied back and we played really well. We won against a really good opponent, Northern Illinois, which they had a couple NFL prospects on that team, and that was a good team. I think they won the conference in their division, but we ended up beating them. And then this past year we went to the Mercedes-Benz Bowl. No, not the what bowl was that? New Orleans one, where the Saints play at.
Yeah.
And App State. App State was a really good football team, great football team. A lot of NFL prospects on the team too.
Yeah,
And
Alex was telling me a little bit about that yesterday, that running back was a dog.
I mean, I think he ran about like a 4.4 or something at the combine. And he was really fast, and we were just young. We had guys like Alex like started a lot of games. He was a true freshman. He was very productive. But yeah, unfortunately, we were just too young, and it was just a mismatch at the time. It just didn't end up as much. It ended up how we wanted to end up.
Yeah, I mean, you guys had a great defense all of last year, but kind of what's like the mindset really going into a bowl game? Like from the coaches maybe perspective, like are they like really like trying to get you guys to like prepare as you would for a normal game, or is it just kind of like we're gonna go down here, have fun, and hope we win? Like, what's kind of the mindset? Like, are you still like expected like your ass better win the game, or like what's the drill?
Yeah, nah, coach. I remember him telling us, it's still a business trip. Like the first day or two, you guys can go out, take pictures, have fun, with your friends, run around. Obviously, still curfew, but after they get those first 2 days out of us, it's definitely treated like a regular season game or even a championship game, preparing the same way. meetings, practice, walkthroughs, etc. So it's still like a business like mentality. Definitely would want to win. Unfortunately, we ended up 1-2 in my time there, winning in 2018 and then losing my first and last year. But
Hey, you still got 3 bowl games under your belt though, bro. That ain't nothing to hang your head on. What's a game day experience like? Kind of like a day in the life of a student athlete at UAB.
like throughout the week or just like the day of the
Sure.
game. Okay.
Both.
Well, so to be a college athlete, it's even on any sport, not just football, you really have to be really passionate about what you're doing, just because it requires so much time and energy and et cetera, et cetera. So I would just say, like, for instance, on a Monday, you would have classes from anywhere between 8 o'clock to 12. Get done with those that class schedule, and then you probably have a lunch break between 12 to 1, and we have meetings around like 1:30, 2 o'clock. And I was in meetings for about 2 hours, just watching films, going over the itinerary for the day, and then to probably get on the football field around 4 o'clock, and then clock out around 6:30, 7 o'clock, and then usually after that, unfortunately, we have study hall.
Jeez.
Leave practice, try to shower up really fast, catch a tutoring session, study hall session, and then probably wrap the day up around 9 o'clock and just repeat the same thing.
Yeah, man, on that steady grind. But kind of is it all worth it once you get to like hit the field and you see those lights and all the fans screaming and all that? Kind of go into detail what that's like a game day.
110, but definitely worth it because, especially winning as much games as we did, we were just blessed and fortunate because it's extremely hard to win on that level. So when we won and everything materialized how we wanted to, it just all the hard work you put in was definitely worth it. So I would say, like, on a Friday night, after getting through some walkthroughs and meetings, we would go into the hotel, check in, eat dinner, lights out at 9 o'clock, and wake up in the morning the day of game day. Depending on what time the game was, it was kind of change, our trajectory or what our itinerary was for that day. So I would say on a night game, which was our favorite, we would wake up, have breakfast, have a little bit of downtime, come down for meetings, go back up for a little bit of downtime, head down to the ballroom for a pregame meal. After we get done with pregame meal, we would just load up the buses, head over to the stadium, and you'll probably give us about 2 hours just to get ready before kickoff, and from there it's lights, camera, action.
Yeah, for sure. What's your favorite college memory? You can be on the football field, it could be in the classroom, it doesn't matter. What's your all-time favorite college memory?
Oh, so many. I was okay. I got to do two. So the first one was when we beat Louisiana Tech in 2017. Um, the reason why that was by far what I would say, not by far, but one of my favorite memories is because this was probably the game I would say that put us on the map, because that year we were I think scheduled to win maybe 2 to 3 games, and we were ranked like the worst team in FBS football. So, after the return, we won the first game. We beat FCS opponent, so it was cool. And after that, I think we lost to Ball State, and we won one. I can't remember for a number. And then we lost really bad to North Texas. And everyone was kind of like, they're coming down. This is what we're expected. And we beat Louisiana Tech, was a really good team, a perennial team in the Conference USA. Usually they either win 10+ games or go to the championship game. And I remember just on the last play, two guys, Stacy Keeley and Jamel Garcia Williams, they're like about 6'8", 6'7". And on the last play of the game, I think we're down one. No, or we're up one and they're down one. They had to kick a field goal, and those guys make a terrific play, block the kick, and end up tackling the place kicker. And, we all just stormed the field. It was a really good time. And on top of that, it was also homecoming night. It was Trojan Harbor's night, where we honor kids that are sick in hospitals across the street. And we just had their jersey names on the back. So the moment was really just surreal. And it was probably one of the memories I'll always remember for the rest of my life.
Bro, I
And
got chills just from you saying that story. I couldn't imagine being on the team, bro.
it was one of the best feelings ever, just making those kids proud, because most of them were not on the sidelines, but like right behind the bench.
Mm.
And it was just a kind of out of body experience. And the second would definitely be the first time we won the Conference USA Championship in school history in 2018. That was a great moment.
Yes, sir. That team was stacked, bro. Y'all had some dogs on that team.
I'm pretty sure I think like the whole D line is like in NFL now or something like that.
Yes, sir. Or going to be for sure.
Right.
I know Tony getting up there. He's saying he's gonna be the first round pick next year, bro.
Tony Tony is crazy for how big he is, how well he's able to move. It's kind
Bro,
of I've never seen it
it's
before.
scary, bro. I'd be scared as hell if I was a running back.
Yeah.
But so you had a great career at UAB. I'm about to hype you up real quick. Totaling 186 tackles, 17 and a half tackles for loss, 4 sacks. The list goes on and on. What kind of NFL interest do you have leading up into the draft?
Well, small interest, just talked to my agent, talked to a few teams here and there that said they have a little bit of interest in me. Just however, due to my size, being 5'10", it's kind of like about 3 inches shorter than the average linebacker. So with that being one of my negatives to my pro grade or scouting grade, or the case may be, I kind of was on the outside looking in terms of getting drafted. But just after talking to my agent, you know, just telling me just keep going, keep working, and the only thing I could do now is just pray and just do the things that I know best. It's kind of like a similar situation coming out of high school. Division I teams said more of the same thing. He's kind of shorter in stature, and you don't know if he's a 4 or 5 guy, whatever the case may be. And I just have to grind it out the same way I did, wait my turn, and stay humble, stay patient until somebody makes that call.
Yeah, man, I'm confident you'll get it because you keep grinding. I see it on Instagram. I see it on Twitter. You're just a hard ass worker, bro. And like I don't know you that well. I mean, this is the first time I've ever talked to you. I mean, we've been texting a little bit back and forth, but bro, I can just tell like just by watching your film, bro. Like size don't matter, bro. I hate when like people say that shit because it don't. Like some of the best players in the NFL, how tall, like 5'6", 5'7", it don't matter, bro. Like I don't know. Have faith, bro. You might have to go a different route, but you got it. But kind of how did COVID-19 affect you being drafted or picked up by a team? Like I know like a bunch of meetings and shit got canceled. How'd that kind of directly affect you?
I would say what if it hurt me, if any, would me not having a mini camp. Because
Yeah.
fortunately a lot of other guys didn't get to have a pro day, which I know, was kind of the hit or miss or whatever, like the make or break for certain guys at certain schools, whatever the case may be. But unfortunately for me, my pro day was one of the first few pro days to even happen. So I had my pro day. It went well for the most part. And I just feel like maybe if there were mini camp sessions that they had, because usually after the draft and priority free agent signings, they have mini camp tryout guys. They would usually bring in, and they'll probably select 1 or 2 of those guys, or whatever the case may be. And just not having that opportunity due to the COVID, kind of hurt a lot more than it would do in the past. But that's life, and that's just how things work. And I embrace adversity, so I'm not really worried.
So my next question, if the CFL or like a different football league, arena football, were they to call you up tomorrow, you moving, you going to play?
I told my agent I'm a football fanatic, football junkie. I don't care what level, wherever they're playing football, as long as they have shoulder pads and helmets, I'm there.
Yeah.
So unfortunately for me and my agent were on the same page about that. I know he's working around the clock. Just trying to get me any type of workout or tryout or some type of signing. With them not knowing if they're even gonna have a season or not, that kind of slows that process down a little bit. So it's a bit of a waiting game. However, I'm not worried. Good
Yeah.
things always come to those who wait. So
Exactly. So these next few questions are just for fun, just to get to know you a little bit outside of the football player. What kind of insight into? I don't fucking know. I'm just asking some questions. But so who's the best player you've ever played with and played against? You can
I
take a second to think about it. I know that's a tough one.
the best player I ever played against was this running back from North Texas. I think he actually plays for the 49ers right now. And usually in my time in UAB, we usually going to have a top 10 defense. Like our first year, we were in the top 25, and then the second year we were top 5, and the third year, my last year, I think we were top 10, top 5, something
Yeah, you
around.
guys were like 8th, 6th, or 7th last year, something like that.
So like we're always gonna have a good defense, and I just never seen anyone be able to just have their way with us. You know what I'm saying? I think that game he had about 250 yards and like
Damn.
3 touchdowns. I'll forever remember this dude's name. He had number 3. He just was breaking every tackle. Yeah, I was just like, man, that's definitely the best football player I've ever played. And the best player I ever played with.
It can be in high school too, bro. It don't have to just be college. It can be in high school.
Mm,
Anybody. Little
yeah,
critters.
I played with a lot of. I'll do a top 3.
Yeah, give me a couple. Throw them out there.
Okay, in high school, I played with this guy, Jamal Merritt. He was an athlete, played every position. And Division II, played with this running back. The one game he had like 500 yards rushing, literally.
That's
On
insane,
20
bro.
carries, yeah, on 5 touchdowns, insane. And then at UAB, I would say maybe Spencer, just because how impactful he is to the program
Yeah.
and how important he is. So I would say those top 3 guys.
UAB got some dogs, bro. Like UAB about to be a powerhouse team, bro. It's about to be a lot of NFL talent coming through there. It's nuts. But what's your go-to sports video game? You like 2K, Madden, FIFA? What's your go-to?
Okay, I could bench 2K for 8 hours at a time. So
Who you run with?
I just play my career online, like get on the park or just run with some buddies, some other friends that I know.
Yeah, for sure. What's your favorite NBA team though? Probably the Wizards, yeah.
The Lakers.
The Lakers, mixing
Yeah,
it up real quick.
I'm a LeBron guy. I'm a LeBron guy all the way.
All right, all right. LeBron's dad actually lives in Erie where I'm at, so that's pretty sick. Yeah. But so if you weren't playing football, like, what sport would you be playing, or like what would you be doing, do you think? You can give us the answer to both. So like let's say you weren't a sports guy, what would you be doing? And then if you weren't playing football but you were still a sports guy, what sport would you be playing?
That first question is tough. I just can't imagine myself not being sports. I'm a sports fanatic. If I wasn't a sports guy, what I would be doing? Maybe trying to be a bodybuilder or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's bad to say this. I don't have much interest outside of sports,
I
unfortunately.
feel you, bro. I'm the same way.
So, oh man, that's tough. I'm not sure.
Or maybe just not playing the game. Maybe like if you wanted to coach or maybe announce or something like that.
Yeah. So I'll probably try to be a journalist or something.
Yeah.
Sports. But if I wasn't playing football, I would definitely want to play soccer.
That's what's up. I played both actually. Yeah. I played soccer my senior year. Got a couple offers. I'd never played it, so I didn't really like the sport that much. So didn't take any of them. But yeah, it's a fun sport. It's hard to translate that football aggressiveness because I played football first to soccer, and people, I'm just like, you guys are crying over like being tripped. Like what the?
No, but usually those guys are about like 135 pounds. 150
Yeah.
all day.
But hey, who am I to judge? Do you think? So who's on your pregame playlist? Who gets you going before a game?
Okay. I have to put on NBA YoungBoy. That's before every game. I'll probably say Kodak Black. Who else would I put on?
Let's see if your playlist is better than Dijon's, bro. His is pretty good.
You see, but everybody gets on like, oh, let me get on the aux cord, let me get on the aux cord. So you get a mix of everything where everybody likes. I know Poppy likes the young folk too as well. During pregame, it was one of our team favorite songs. Just catch everybody's vibing and singing along in unison in the locker room. It's actually funny as hell to see, but
That's what's up. So if you could pick one athlete, no matter what era, dead, alive, it doesn't matter, bro. To sit down with and just have a meal with for as long as you want, who's it gonna be and why?
I would probably say Ray Lewis would definitely be the one, just because I've never seen a defensive player be that impactful to a football team. Usually everyone talks about the quarterback or the running back or the wide receiver, but you also have really good defensive linemen and edge rushers like Von Miller. But just in terms of just being the face of an organization, I've never seen really a middle linebacker do that before besides Ray Lewis. So I'd definitely love to sit down and pick his brain, and try to understand how he got to that point.
Bro, best linebacker of all time. One last question for you. But before I ask it, I just want to remind all the listeners, all the proceeds throughout the entire year of 2020 going towards combating social injustice and police brutality. We're trying to make a difference any way we can. But final question for you, Fitz. Any advice for all the young athletes out there trying to get to the point where you are today, chasing those pro dreams? Maybe some advice for them trying to decide what college they want to go to. So just kind of let them pick your brain real quick.
The number one advice I would tell them is, firstly, if you want to make it to the college level, you always have to make sure your grades, SAT scores, core GPA is all up to standard, because, if you don't have that, you're going to have to go through the long route to the junior college, preparatory school, or whatever case may be. So I would say that's the number one thing they should focus on. And I would say in terms of being on the field, I would say being able to just compete, because a lot of guys are able to make it through just being bigger, faster, stronger than other guys on the high school level. And then it's really kind of hard for them to compete once they try and make that transition to that next level. So it's kind of like a rough area for a rough time for them. But I'll just tell them, if you want to make it into the Division I level, you have to come ready to compete every single day, and in the weight room, on practice, sometimes even the meeting rooms too as well. So those are the two main things I would tell them right now.
That's great advice right there from a guy who has had a very large amount of success at the Division I level. Fitz Mofor, thank you so much for your time today, my guy, and I can't wait to see where this football journey takes you, brother.
Thank you so much, sir.